Yami Sanje Chedan Soji
Chanchu Bado Dani Kyusoche Dagi Chinen Jive Sonam Ji Dolaje Sanje Joba
Sanje
Chedan Soge Chonam La Chanchu Bado Dani Kyusoche Dagi Chinen Jive Sonam Ji Dola Penche Sanje Joba Sanje Chedan Soge Chonam La Chanchu Bado Dani Kyusoche Dagi Chinen Jive Sonam Ji Dola Penja Sanje Jawara
Sadang Lame Midam Yanji Ambote Chajina Suchi Chila Jawa Chabana Sanje Sumbara Dishin Juju Tetachi Dame Jini Dini Jiji Jisa Juju Tenji Cheba de la Choda Tejum Bura Dea La Benya Sinsa Chunsame Ambi Daniel Leva Tula Tuve Sunji Masha Yukadan Jinga Rubuta Dami Kanan Doa Punja Dano Jisa Tamje Gedu Dagi Chedan Do Lasuta, only John Deji, your Saja do you gossip. Yajin Chambi Chajata, Lala and Lala Duji Chajaji, Simja Namji Tanzabe, Ani Kiwunamji Dorminjuru Chani, or Chani Sumbana, Sani Chani. That's some Casore Simjang. That is Anjaki, Thomas Simjani. Simjaba there, any children of some young to Sim Jeba Yinzang. And the part which I said Jaba Chidu love at young. Some young to love. Tarangomba San Jay and Yang, and it's some young to. And the Womba San Jane. That's Anje Drumne, and it's some young to Zergovaya. That's one.
So, taking a quotation from the sutra, which is known as the meeting of the father and sons, within that, then it states saying that for undertaking the activities benefiting sentient beings, then this has come about on the basis of first generating the mind of bodhicitta for the sake of sentient beings, and then engaging in the bodhisattva's way of life, in the way of engaging in the practices of the six perfections, training in those practices, and eventually then attaining enlightenment, attaining that state of enlightenment also for the sake of sentient beings. So having accomplished this state, then is the engagement of the activities benefiting sentient beings.
What is it? Dinner Samjang turn Zadi Gala, and it's soon Jendangi Chundru, Jenny Kazana, Shuana, Jenny. Any Zabakula Sungan, Zaba Choying, Jenny Swana, Jenny, and it's soon Jendangi Chundru, Sungitaba Dabala, then Samjang turns out by Groa Yinzang. Anita launches of Gomos to Jayanga Chamba Tedala, and it launches of Gunaba. That launches of Gomos of Madamba, Society of Leda Tedala, and it choked Drugo in Abadene, and it was turns ahead. That's choked Drugo Javi, Kawameba, and Aranzo Taula, and it Casore, or Kakashila, and it Jajingi Nabadene Church ahead, and it's Habi Nabadene Church ahead, some young turns ahead. What a rangi, Mewada to be Nabadene, and it did you do a number, did you do it? In that Jaji Sambi Chajata, Lalan Duji Chajaji, Samjanamji turns a bit, you Namji Dorminjuru sale to Simbari.
So, and in accomplishing the activities benefiting sentient beings, and then as stated before, there is no greater activity than the activity of the Holy Speech, who gives the teachings caring for the sentient beings. So doing that in the aspect of the two form bodies, the enjoyment body of the Sambhogakaya, which is directly perceived by the Arya Bodhisattvas, and in that aspect, then directly benefiting the Bodhisattvas. And for those who are not able to have that direct perception of the Sambhogakaya, the enjoyment body of the Buddha, then for ordinary sentient beings who have pure karma, then manifesting in the supreme emanation form, Nirmanakaya, and then engaging in the activities benefiting sentient beings of the pure karma. For those sentient beings like us who who do not have the karmic fortune to perceive the supreme emanation form, the Nirmanakaya form, then, manifesting in various different in various different aspects in accordance with the aspirations of the sentient beings. For sentient beings that need to be benefited and mind subdued by manifestations such as that of Indra, devas like Indra, Brahma, and even as Mara demons. So, for the benefit of each individual sentient being, then manifesting whatever aspect is needed to subdue the sentient being's mind. So in that respect, then the verse concludes saying that the way in which the Buddhas manifest their activities is something that we as sentient beings can never comprehend.
아니 타마비 주지 넘바 땜바라 데리고와 인장 말한저 아니 가소래 라마치비 가소래 ramjanjawa 군지 신이 강도지 않체베 타게죠 몸이 좀 바가지 나로 장고 담비지 샤라 소와데 전에 차자로 전에 소환하시 전에 ramjanjawa 군지 시데 뭐 ramjan 뒤숨이 자와 탐지 뒤에 ramjanjawa 군지 시 임발라 남바다 도자 칸라 칸도긴 남바다 땜바 아니 그런 두바 짐바긴 남바다 저거라 양아바긴 남바다 서 어떤지 여와 인자나 시스 어떤지 소야도
so manifesting emanations in accordance with whatever is required for the benefit of the particular individual sentient beings. So as manifesting in very ordinary aspects for our benefit, as stated within the Lama Chupa, where it says that even though it is the transcendental wisdom of all the conquerors, of all the Buddhas, but in order to subdue us in accordance to our needs, then manifesting in these ordinary aspects, such as a Vinaya Vajra holder, such as a tantric practitioner, and so forth.
타마 주진로와 댄세비 장군 탐비샤로 소환데 전이 어떻게 소환이 말해 안에 저자 뭐하체라 구순 genji 콜로니 타게 주주 자위 저게래 대화 시와는 주 구순이 겐 아니 타마위 수지 강라 강두지 거봐 땜비가네 아니 타마지 저게 전세 전지 저와 전세 봐.
So taking the verse from the Lama Chupa, which says, we make our request to you, compassionate refuge projectors, from an intricate lattice of mirage-like skillful means, emblazoned with 3 body wheels of those gone to bliss, you manifest in an ordinary guise to lead all beings, like that.
Oh yeah, the next one is that tenderly, that Zabatella, Asore, Chile. 지당 산재기 칠레에서 되라 간대질에 쓰고 와래서나 아니 가소리 랑기 다지 이시 랑기 다진도 주위 이시 축이 다진 채와라 때네 중위 남가지 연대 쓰고 와래 이시 축이 다진 채네 중화지기 나라지 주라 그 계속 참모지 제와 친제 아니 이시 축이 칠레 말에 대양 안에 가래 타 동나 대제게 다진 아니 산재기 이시질에 다 두고 와래
So when we talk about the divine activities of the Buddhas, then what is this characterized as something which arises from the main condition of one's own, gnosis dhammakaya, transcendental wisdom dhammakaya. Arising from this, the qualities of the white virtue, namkargewe, the white virtuous qualities that arise out of the conditions of one's own, gnosis dhammakaya. So it is said that, whatever small virtue arises within us, the cause that generates that kind of virtue within our mind is this, gnosis dharmakaya. So then therefore Maitreya states 27 different activities of this gnosis dharmakaya, beginning with setting an individual on the path, basis of the path, and then all the way up to the attainment of enlightenment. Then there are 27 activities attributed to this transcendental wisdom dharmakaya.
Ani chamba komi dili kausu tela, dilami kausu khande sungore sana. Ani tila juju tela, sunji juba dan tila ju me chaba juba, ni jikona ma sungu cheche.
So in the sublime continuum in Maitreya's Uttaratantra, the way in which these activities are engaged, the way in which these activists engage sentient beings is in a very spontaneous and uninterrupted manner.
So
to denote the brief teaching on Buddha's spontaneous activities is the first verse. The constitution of the converts, the means of conversion, the benefit of the convert in accordance with his nature, the place and time at which he is to act. The Lord pervades by his wisdom and constantly manifests himself without effort.
Chanju number some Serigala, any Yandu Chanju Ranja Chanju, any teaching Chanju number Sumla, Mewa Shabi, Lucha Kamdela, or Mondola Meva, Yandu Chanju La Meva, Ranja Chanju La Meva, teaching Chanju Sumla, Mewa number Shabaki, any Duchi come down.
So the constitution of the converts refers to the predisposition of the convert of the disciples. So those who are predisposed towards the attainment of higher rebirth, who aspire to have a higher rebirth, to be reborn in the Deva realms, to be reborn as human beings. And then you have whose predisposition is of aspiring towards the three enlightenment. The enlightenment of the heroes, the enlightenment of the solitary realizers, and the enlightenment of the Mahayana. So, the aspirations, the type of aspirations that arise from distinctive predispositions.
Ani chanju tu turungi rigdang. Ani chanju kasore ondola mewam. Ani chanju subo karula mewa. Ota dujaki mewa nazoba teta ngusum tu chembatang.
So
duji kamdang duji kamdang.
So, in this manner, the enlightened mind of the Buddha knows the predisposition of the sentient beings, knows the lineage of the sentient beings, the lineage and the aspiration for whether it is going to, whether the sentient being aspires towards higher rebirth or any of the three types of enlightenment, knowing all of these dispositions, aspirations, and the lineage directly.
다 두자 누이 탑자라 다시 쉬와 나신 전에 아니 수군이지 넘버 10네 10도 로하기 두자 산에 그 장선 파바 대다라 론지 조비 꾸나 봤더네 아니 담바당 내비관에 아니 최소문이 두야당 다 론지 조공 것을 자 미두바기 아니 소소기 원래다 chanchu sembada nyerang la sobe soso ki le taba namla ani chogu tugu na ba tane ani che tane ro da te ma yin ba da jin ka so de ya sa je do na la so na xin xian ni chang bi cha jie dang o du ji cha jie dang xin dang san ba la so wa zhu ba dang ro wo kan la du ji kan dang du yi ta dang xie de la xin dang san ba la so wa dang 아니 시변 두바남라 시와 차비 두바남라 안에 차보 차비 그제.
And then the means of conversion, the means by which they benefit sentient beings is through the manifestation of the two form bodies, the two rupakayas. So the sambhogakaya or the enjoyment body for the Arya Bodhisattvas who are able to directly perceive such an emanation body and receive the teachings directly. And for those who are not able to perceive the Sambhogakaya holy body of the Buddha, then for those individuals of pure karma or ordinary sentient beings of pure karma, then for them manifesting in the supreme emanation form and directly benefiting sentient beings. And like how it was stated earlier in the sutra known as the Meeting of the Father and Son Sutras, then the Buddhas manifest in multitudes of different aspects in accordance with the need or the whatever most benefits sentient beings, such as Brahma, such as Mara demons, such as boats and bridges, such as through peaceful and wrathful means. So whatever it takes to subdue sentient beings' mind.
오야 두지 감단 아니 누비 타다니
So
대체.
So the root text, the constitution of the converse, meaning the predisposition, the means of conversion, the method employed to subdue sentient beings.
나 누지 감진 누지 자와탕 세대기 아니 다 가서래 요하다 잡아라 소위 누와라 소위 군제 다 전에 누지 감지 누지 자와 가르래서 누지 자와데 가르래서나 다 단도 온도 되바테다 온도라고 해. 내려 타바 거바데 되바테다 내려 타발라고 봐. 다 랑랑기 아니 강란 되바테다 테라고 해야 돼. 이나 테다 두비 탑된 바좀 치도.
And show the benefit of the convert in accordance with his nature. So the kind of action employed in order to benefit sentient beings, in order to subdue sentient beings' mind, in accordance with the disposition of the sentient beings, by employing wrathful activities or peaceful activities, and in accordance with their dispositions, aspiring for a higher rebirth or liberation or enlightenment, then accordingly undertaking the right course of actions.
Oh yeah, 근데 인상 다 된다비 차와대다 누비 안에 탑된비 체도 아니 수군나바 니오데 아라라 칸도기 수군나바 땜밤 텔레시엔 아니 칸라 칸도기 나바 단네 아니 두자지 뒤라 마여봐 뒤수 시바당 가소래 뒤수 시바라 소와기 차다 양다바 조위 산제 뒤다도 조위 산제기 뒤다도 배선여를 시바 생기 주바래
And so
나와제라 자와제라 뒤유단 뒤수 시바다 차다다도 생기 주바죠
And so all of those skillful means of their actions engaged by the two form bodies in accordance with the in accordance with the need of the disciples. Whatever manifestation, whatever action is required to subdue sentient beings, then accordingly manifesting it all at the correct time. Not making no mistake with regards to when those manifestations or when those actions need to be undertaken, making no mistake of the appropriate time and so forth. So the place and time at which he is to act, the Lord pervades by his wisdom and constantly manifests himself without effort. So engaging in all these activities spontaneously. So this is like the brief explanation of the spontaneous activity of the Buddha. So the next is explaining the uninterrupted, continuous activity of the Buddha. So this is presented in the more expanded explanation of presenting the 6 illustrations, the meaning of those illustrations, and the correspondence of the example and the meaning.
Oh yeah, that you can say sana. Yazoda nimata nangada terda tingda lung chete petite sawa. That is tawalma tengure.
So the examples are the ocean, the sun, Yatsuda Nimata, the treasure. It'll come later anyway. Karis. Yatsuda
Nimata, Nangada, Teredang, Tingdang, Lung.
Cloud. So the ocean, the sun, and the space, the treasure, the cloud, the wind.
Oh, that day, Shabala, Zawala, Yonder Rinji, Chozo Tande, Ishi Chuzo Sonam Ishi Nye.
So the text, the ocean of wisdom, bearing the most precious jewels, his sublime properties, endowed with the light of the sun.
Oh, that the Tindoma Walamangudu. In Dantanda, Yazube Kwasagre, Never Jimba Cheba, never Jimba Chisa, never Jinji, Tamji Cheba, Toba Cheba, Toba Chebala, and never Jinji, Cigar Koala, never Jinji, Srawa.
So the ocean is likened to the ocean is likened to so
Sachu Segala, never Jimba Cheba, never Jinji Segala, Koala never Jimba. Yana Sikitala, never Jimba. That's Sikitala never Jimba Chantiatu.
The debate Yatsure Salasure. Yatsula Shore.
They debate Jella Chunky.
Okay.
And the turn to the chair. And let Yazuta been the bed Chinchaka, I'm going to turn to the Marshall Dua.
So Rinpoche said he'll first explain the 6th meaning first, and then apply its correspondence to the examples. So the first is the 10 bhumis, the 10 levels, or the 10 levels are regarded as as a definite revelation of the samsara, nirvana, revelation to attain enlightenment, to attain liberation, so forth like that. These 10 levels are likened to a definitive revelation of samsara nirvana, the attainment of liberation, enlightenment.
Oh, that is never did a saju down, say gala, saju sena turned and be saju, say gala. Jidang say that don't carry is na. The Sasia de la Salam needs to chive Sasiguare, Sadan Lam needs to chive Sa. Jidang Sasina around to Jumashin and Sashi Tawana, Sashi Tema in Bache. Salam Sadan Lam needs to chive Sa said.
These 10 bhumis or the 10 grounds, the grounds usually have the ordinary connotation is that which is solid. Matter, so, but here the ground here refers to the ground and paths ground.
That here can you just go and rangit Satiri Kishin Naza Tamja Jeber Chebaki Dan Cheba Tishin do Salam Yusuchi Lam Satiri Yang a Yunden. All castle lower than Milobu and then Tamji Shichaba in Kwana Sa, Simenta Timber.
So just as the ordinary ground is the ground on which everything grows, all the trees, all the great forest and so forth, in the same way, the grounds and paths are the foundation on the basis of which one generates all of the qualities while on the path of training, all the way up to the, generating all those qualities of normal learning.
So because
it acts as the foundation for the multitudes of qualities that are generated in yourself, in your mind, so it is known as the ground of the ground and paths. So when it acts as the foundation of qualities of the Mahayana qualities, then it is known as the Mahayana grounds. So when it acts as the foundation for the multitudes of qualities of the solitary realizers, then it is known as the grounds of the solitary realizers or the pradeka grounds. And when it acts as the foundation for the multitudes of qualities of the hearers, it is known as the hearers grounds or the Shravaka grounds, so, because you have these 3 vehicles. We talk about the grounds of the multitudes of qualities of the Mahayana grounds, being the foundation for the multitudes of qualities of the Mahayana grounds, then this is again differentiated into ordinary Mahayana grounds and Arya Mahayana grounds.
What is that? Soji Sadela, that Tibachabu Chachu to Sem Kene, Tijanji Lamdu Shuni. Ani, that Tijanji Sanjaju Command Drueki, Tibachibe Lam Yamsu Lendang de la Lemba de Yamsu Lengowa Yenzang, Yamsu Lembala, that Shirgowa Yenzang, Ters Tambo Tewada, Samba Toro Jubi Negaki, Lamjigla, Ani Tijangi Solam said, Tijangi Solam said Yongware, Tesam Yzor Ju Lamjila.
So on the ordinary Mahayana grounds, then that refers to having generated bodhicitta and entering into the path, and in order to accomplish the state of Buddhahood, engaging in the Mahayana practices, which at this phase is primarily listening to the teachings, generating the understanding through contemplation, through reflection of those teachings. So these stages, when one is in the Mahayana path of accumulation.
That's Solam Ginega, so Tesam Yitana Pabi turn, 아니 검중이 된라 做 검중做로 주에 된라 파비 아니 돈이 돈바니 지켜 검중 做로 지나 된라 파비 내가 되라 아니 좌람 제이가라 창심지 좌람 대진그 좌람 시가래
So on the basis of the listening to the teachings, reflecting upon those teachings, generating by the means of the path of accumulation, then when one starts to meditate on what one has understood, particularly primarily meditating on emptiness, and this phase is known as the when one has transitioned to the principal phase of just meditating on what one has understood in the context of meditating on emptiness, then this is known as the minor ground of the path of accumulation, path of preparation. So both of these two phases are bodhisattva grounds, but it's not included within the 10 bhumis or the 10 bodhisattva grounds. So therefore you have ordinary bodhisattva grounds and Arya or superior bodhisattva grounds, as in ordinary Mahayana grounds and Arya or superior Mahayana grounds.
아니 사탕보 시고아리 전담비 sem제세에 돈용 무슨 도비 이셔고고아리 그러와 이장데 한보토바디 다 통람네 토구와 인자 통람 토바다 사탕보 토바 인자 다 통람네 송데 안에 사주비 바르기 사주테 데르시고아리 내가 내가 이제 사주당 세대
So when does the superior, the Arya Bodhisattva grounds begin is when one first generates ultimate bodhicitta. When one first generates ultimate bodhicitta, then one attains the first of these 10 bodhisattva grounds, and that means having the transcendental wisdom, realizing emptiness, which is achieved of the 5 Mahayana paths on the path of seeing. On the path of seeing, so when one attains this path of seeing, then one has attained the first of these 10 bodhisattva grounds, and from this first to the 10th ground is what is known as the grounds of the definite revelation.
No, 다시 오늘와 지적 사주대 체. 다 뒤편에서 통람네. So
from the path of seeing up to the 10th bhumi is the grounds of the definite revelation. So on the basis of these 10 grounds, then you have to accumulate the two types of merits, the merit of virtue and the merit of transcendental wisdom, which are the causes to accomplish the 2 Buddha bodies, the form body and the truth body, the Dhammakaya.
대우 장주 전보당 대우 장주 전보 주마사바다 미제와 시비 아니 장주 전보서래 산제기 아니 방도 구시디비다 구시디와데 장주 전보를 샤쇼거래 와 대우 장주 전보당 장주 루비네 셈젠 다시 장주 토베데 가려잖아 셈젠을 때네 토바르와 셈젠을 때네 토바 인상 셈젠남다 자와라 산제 취도 자와라 야라 규지提醒도 셈젠남이 지수 전이 오다 진주가서 수반나신 전이 가서래 담보 장주 인제제야 셈젠 때네 제 chanchujudu semje yang semje la dene je da lam khanda ani semje la dene je wa yin zang chanju duji ani chanju dubi ne semje tang se tin bare
So, when we talk about the Great Enlightenment is known as the Great Enlightenment because it is the resultant state of the attaining the four Buddha bodies. The basis or the source by which one attains this is the sentient beings, on the basis of the sentient beings, independence upon the sentient beings. Then this is what this great enlightenment is attained, just like how it is stated in the Guide to a Bodhisattva's Way of Life, that to actualize enlightenment, then one depends upon one depends half on the Buddhas and half on the sentient beings, and therefore why would one venerate the Buddhas and not venerate sentient beings? So in that respect, the basis in dependence upon sentient beings, then this great enlightenment, the composite of the resultant state of the four Buddha bodies, is attained. And even when we first generate compassion, it is in dependence upon sentient beings that we generate compassion. When we generate bodhicitta, also it is in dependence upon sentient beings that we generate this bodhicitta.
Oh yeah, that didn't semjenji chanju tobagin dibje de karere sana ani nyomo bituwa da shiji tiba nishe.
So what are the obscuring factors that obscure sentient beings' attainment of this enlightenment? Are the two types of obscurations: the obscuration of afflictions and the obscuration to knowledge. And it is the great compassion of the Buddhas, great compassion of the conquerors, that destroys these two obscurations.
Oh, that's turn to Buddha.
So these are the seven kind of meaning of six meaning of those six examples. The corresponding meaning of those six examples. So the qualities that are generated on those 10 bhumis, on those 10 grounds, it's like the nourishing waters that allow for that, expansion or development of those qualities. So just like you have the like a treasury of the ocean, a treasury of an ocean of treasuries. So it is likened to the ocean. These So the water of the transcendental wisdom on those 10 levels or 10 bhumis are what allows for the generation of all those qualities. So in that respect, it is likened to an ocean, when we talk about an ocean of treasuries, like that. So these waters of the transcendental wisdom on those 10 levels are what generates those qualities.
So
the ocean of wisdom bearing the most precious jewels. The ocean of wisdom the ocean of wisdom bearing the most precious jewels, his sublime properties.
Semjana cho ishigu chodang sonam gu cho niwode ane semjana nyawar sobi gyuwa inzang nimadan trawa.
So endowed with the light of the sun of virtue and highest wisdom, these two accumulations of the merit of virtue and merit of wisdom likened to the light rays of the sun, these two causes that sentient beings generate or seek out.
Tiba maling wa tu de tada yume jaje nanga da chaba. Degi da karire sana chanju chembo daji sabada michewa chibi yishidan demi. Da sugu namba nila so wa teda chanju chembo teda sawadang sawa Antoni Tobi, Judge Samilam Jirimba. Jajava Kunzo Chanju sent the Chindula, so any Jachi and that Tayaba and Nangatan Javare, Tameba, Nangatan Javare.
So, realizing the paths of the vehicles, having neither middle nor end, extensive and all pervasive like space. Referring to this great enlightenment, this inexhaustible state of the two Buddha bodies, the profound referring to the wisdom realizing emptiness, extensive referring to the conventional bodhicitta of the practices of the perfections.
Oh yeah. That didn't Tiba Maling, what do the Tata Umeba Nangata Jawa, said Nangata Jawa. That Semjanam, and then Sanjaki children, but you name Ba, Sanjaku, and it Kasura, Suguta Chuki Divi, and then Semjana Dana Junga Yinzang, Semjana Sanjaki children, but you name but dead and Jawa.
And the sentient beings are like a treasury. Because sentient beings are the source of the are the source of all the qualities of Buddhahood. The sentient beings are the source of the Rupakaya and the Dhammakaya.
That Driba, you mother Shiji Driba, or Tegi Driba Teda, Ani. Lubu wa ni yinji ani kaso de semji rangxin la ma shuba yinbe rangxin ma yinbe semji rangxin ma yinba de jing ba de lubu wa yinbi junzanji semji rangxin la ma shuba.
And the two obscurations, the obscuration of afflictions and the obscuration to knowledge, because they are adventitious, they do not exist in the nature of the mind, because these obscurations not being of the nature of the mind.
Ani dibjala chaba meba tingi nangala driba na shinchani roha ani dibjala chaba meba tingna trawa.
And these obscurations are like the clouds that when the clouds obscure, it does not distinguish who it obscures or who it does not obscure like that, without any sort of distinctions like that, then it obscures.
아니 추구통하라 전지가야 드바니오디야 아니 산제지 가서래 추구 타발란 드바쳐봐라
obscuring the attainment of the state of the Dhammakaya of Buddhahood.
다 투지 첨 저번인지 첨부와 투지 첨부대 토르 쳐봐 농단 쳐봐 농라 때네 아니 등 토라대 아니 등 토와대 등 내가 쳐봐나 신체니 등단 쳐봐 나가 등단 쳐봐 쳐봐나 신체니 저번인지 첨부라 때네 아니 심지지 주마 루부 왔다 매봐 심지 주마단 차네 아니 당신 주마단 차비 다장 모습도 또해
So just like the winds that disperse the clouds, the great compassion of the Buddhas then disperses those defilements, those obscurations, those defilements in the mental continuum of the sentient beings. These defilements that are advantageous, and by dispersing them, by removing them, then being able to actualize that, directly actualize that complete purity.
Oh yeah, that is inside. The one, the inside. That is. 전주 진짜네. 다 제와 샤바데라. 제와 샤바데 갑든 도와데. 갑든 도와데 세니다. 산제니니 제메 섬제군라 체면 남시네. 난가다 차바스. 산제니나 연된 제마 메데 섬제군라 체면 남시네. 다는디 자와데. 봐. 산제니니 연된 제메 chima medir sanje ki chima mebi yuanden ki te semji rangshin yu sawa de ane semjian namla chepa meba si ne semjian kui la ane chepa meba yoba de si ne ane teta ki gyuji semji ki ane nyumon bata shiji driba de jingdan drawa de ane sanje ki tuji ungi naba tor kire tuji naba tor.
So the stainless qualities of the Buddhahood then, perceives all sentient beings without differentiation, and with that great compassion, then dispels the two obscurations, of the sentient beings. The Buddha perceives the treasury of immaculate virtues in all that lives, and by the wind of his divine commiseration disperses the web of clouds, the obscuration of defilement and of ignorance.
어디니 뒤에거나 되지 대체봐 다 담보 가서래 길에 주미제베 줄에 좋아데 사단 손이 담보니 오데 저와 사단 손이 오데 사단 손이 오데 아니 길에 주미제베 주 가르래서나 자주 지봉에와 진바 칠칠.
So then next is the summary, in which summary that concludes how that uninterrupted activities of the Buddhas engages sentient beings, and so what are the causes for that uninterrupted engagement of those activities of the Buddha? Is the grounds and the two accumulations of merit. They are the two causes. 사다 촌이디
사단 손이디 자주 침보 내와 집에 치단 티 땡도 주 치르 손이
because these grounds and these two accumulations of merit is what definitely reveals the great enlightenment.
다들이 주매제베 라신 토바데 아니 장주당 삼전이지 땡라 공도 장주의 삼전이 어디다 맞지 다들이 뒤에거나 두지 된다바데 녀몬 투지니 녀몬당 녀 주바당 아니 저와 니지 쳐보니 그때 저와 두지 녀몬대당 저와 투지 쳐보니 그때 대도르지
so the junmeche that chanchu da semche
chanchu semche ni chite junmeche bade
so the uninterrupted activities of the Buddha is illustrated is shown by enlightenment and sentient beings and nibate chibata
chibata 그래서
chibata
녀몬당 투신이 시대 지바스를 가나 녀몬데 집체의 심정을 집체 녀몬데 때 집체 녀몬데 아니 집체대라 다 가서를 차와집에 타면 뭐 대사와집에 탑대라 투시심 뭐 자완이 뭐 등다 자기 때봐
and the cloud of great compassion that which clears away the water of the great compassion, the wind of the great compassion, which kind of clears away the cloud of the obscurations.
That captain, they say, that that by the 2 days, share it, but Sanjay and then. 人家错给错的代表中国人比起300个元的人不就错给错的代表中国人比起当啊你错你一些就去结完钱完了但呢你去把真的啊你爬出去去把钱然后你去把是爬进去把了但呢你去把是一个了他都给债务他把的钱把给你去把아니 장주 대신 그 티바 이 티바 사주 티바데
so the qualities of Buddhahood are like is a treasury of is a precious treasury, an ocean of precious treasury, which is attained by the means of the causal vehicle. The causal vehicle being being the two types of accumulations. Through the means of the two types of accumulations as the causal vehicle, then it is a causal vehicle in relation to the ultimate result.
바로 집에 티바단 저도 티바 니전이 주단 요아래데 다타 파진 티바 집볼래 자주 잠바 아니 지 티바 제부 산제지 아니 티바데 토비 이 아니 티바 집에 사주 티바 집에 사주 티바데라 아니 지 티바 쓰잖아 자소고 있지
So usually you have a causal vehicle, which is the Paramitayana vehicle or the perfection vehicle, and then you have the resultant vehicle, which is the Vajrayana vehicle. But here, when in the context of applying it primarily to the sutra context, then it is a causal vehicle in relation to the resultant state of Buddhahood. So the vehicle of the 10 bhumis are what constitutes the causal vehicle for that result of Buddhahood.
누가 쳐봐인자 아니 사주 어디 자주 배단 말이.
So to actualize the resultant vehicle of Buddhahood, which is endowed with the qualities of abandonments and realizations, this Buddhahood, which is the composite of the Dhammakaya and the Rupakaya, then is attained by the means of the causal vehicle of the 10 bhumis. So in this way, in this respect, the 10 bhumis, these 10 grounds, are like an ocean.
특별 생각이 주바시라 샤먹어 세가나 특별 된다 거래에서나 택해야 돼. 등이 가론 코트 티바 세가다 택생 초와.
So when we talk of a vehicle, it needn't necessarily be understood only in the context of a cause. A vehicle is that which supports or that which carries the two objectives without exception. So taking the responsibility, bearing the responsibility for the benefit of the self and for the benefit of others without exception. So the rays of the sun, which is likened to the accumulation of the two types of merit, merit of virtue and merit of wisdom, is what definitely accomplishes is what definitely accomplishes all the vehicles without exception.
So because these two merits, because of these two merits, merit of virtue, merit of virtue, definitely sustaining sentient beings, then it is likened to the rays of the sun. maybe 아니 싸워던 자치비 연대 타야봐 난가다를 차배 나 장주 첨보디 아니 장주 첨보 산제니니 난가 빼대노.
So just like the space which has no beginning or end, without limit, the qualities of Buddhahood is also like that, without limit. The profound qualities of Buddhahood, the extensive qualities of Buddhahood, which pervades like space, limitless like space, is like this space is likened to the great enlightenment.
세바다 미제바 시와 무슨도 또 이시에 또 체거나 또 체 대샤고 와데 마도 현타 주시와나시 수군이라서 산제지
전주침보데 세바다
미제와 정말 세바다 미제와 무슨도 또 이시타도 첨바데라 아니 또 체와데 대샤고 와데스 다또 이단체 산제 강가지 전주침보리 산제 인친제라.
So generally speaking, if it's a Buddha, then it is great enlightenment. And how the connotation of great enlightenment is that direct gnosis of exhaustion of contamination, and the direct gnosis of with regards to these contaminations never arising again. It's a great enlightenment. Great enlightenment refers to that exalted knower directly knowing the exhaustion of contamination and it's never arising again. So all of those stainless Buddha qualities, the treasury of those stainless Buddha qualities, then is seen to be, is seen to be in sentient beings. That sentient beings are the source of all of these treasure-like, stainless Buddha qualities. Seeing that sentient beings are the source of all this, then therefore the sentient beings are likened to a treasury. So the web of so the web of the obscurations of affliction and obscuration to knowledge are likened to be like this web of clouds, adventitious, which are dispersed by the water of the great compassion.
Sanja namji tuji lungi namba tor sayadi ani duji jiji tripate simji ki trima simji trima dan jawa de sanja ki ani zawa tuji chimbi lungi ani da sungje dengi chiju che ani wata tusi dogora tuji lungi namba tor chebe tuji chimbo di lungi pe denba shewa chao.
So, by the wind of his divine commiseration, disperses the web of clouds, the obscurations of defilement and ignorance. So, these obscurations in the mental continuum of the disciples, then, is removed by the wind of the great compassion of the Buddhas. The wind of the great compassion of the Buddhas is the activities of the holy speech. That's the speech with compassion, showing showing the Dharma. So this completes the brief explanation, and next is the expanded explanation. So then, in explaining the meaning of the spontaneous activity and uninterrupted activity of the Buddhas.
Tati tsawa tela ani tuji lungi namba toro duja kanshi sanje kangi duwa sira kanshi kangi duwa yi ani chagang kandu kangi tse chawa kanda chawa kang tuyu kangi tse yu kandu tuyu kangi tse sita dewa yungurwa chagang kandu kangi tse tene namdo jemeje tuba datu hinjitu.
So that's verse number 3. Who and by what means is to be converted, and what is to be the aim, and at what place and time, without having any constructive thought regarding all of this.
Oh yeah, that digi 도지 감리 강식이 써야 되게 말하다 여기 강식 강기 누가 있어야 돼 도지 심전지 강기 뒤라 도지 심전 강기 뒤라 탑 강기 시자소 도자 뒤에 차와 강유 강도 뒤 강기지 누구위 필연 주발라 순디다를 차오 냠바라 소위 남도 매바 그래서 말이야 도지 심전 강
with regards to whose mind should be subdued, who by what means those sentient beings' mind should be subdued, by whether employing peaceful or wrathful means, by what course of action, and where it should, at what time or occasion such an activity should take place. With regards to all such phenomena, then the Buddhas do not have any sort of do not have this kind of conceptual. These don't have those kind of constructive concepts. These kind of ideas associated with these factors of who should be benefited by what means, where it should take place, or at what time. Like with such as these concerns, then the Buddha is free of any sort of concepts because of the spontaneous quality.
다 되게 지셔봐도 되니 다 자와도 이거들라 연구하래 다 니와 조소셔봐대라.
So the next part is the individual explanation.
어 단다디 자와디 강시 강기세 자와도 이거들라 연구하래.
So with regards to the previous verse,
강시 누지 감리 강시기 세디 누지 감리 강시기 세디 누이 탐리 강강기 세디다.
Who and by what means is to be converted, what is to be the aim, and what is so the individual explanation with regards to that.
다 누자 랑랑기 가서 리강인 바당 아니 사변 가서래 사변세나 사메기 삼제제기 사변 다 같이 견주기 르니와 가제 르다 사변라 소와 도시 감리 강시기 뒤자 강시기 뒤라 아니 도자데 두베 탑 마보 다 길라이나 갈소래 잔주셔바래나 지서 바로 지투기 쉬었던 발라 소와 강다기 아니 꾸유거봐야 아니 민자봐 아니 가서 롱기 나바다에 초구주기 나바다에 여주기 나바다에 안타마비 나바다에 해서 봐 아니 꾸유거봐 민자와당 아니 숨기 나바 민자와서 숨기简单야 숨기 나바야 민자와 시간라 아니 점된 대기 칙칙 미미다고 시와기 칙칙 숨기 잠바 아니 두자랑게 감다 명하다 tum바 두자랑게 다음에 비대도와나 다음에 동아이 다도와나 동아와라 소와 수지니도 숨어자 도마니도 소소코 송아나시체니 아니 숨기 나바 민자와 아니 두비차와 강고와탕
So individual sentient beings or disciples that are to be subdued with regards to them, then having the knowledge of their lineage, their seed, meaning their lineage, the developmental lineage, the lineage which is developed by means of the proper applications, preparations. So in relation to them, then employing a variety of different methods, in order to benefit those disciples, such as, in relation to the bodhisattvas, then teaching the method of the 6 perfections and so forth, and then manifesting a variety of different emanations for those who require the enjoyment body, then manifesting that for others, then the supreme emanation, for others the birth emanation, and ordinary manifesting into many different ordinary aspects in accordance with the need of the disciples, and employing the activities of the holy speech that is manifold, such as the Buddhas when they teach by teaching one topic, such as on impermanence, then the disciples, in accordance with their predispositions and interests, then hear teachings in accordance with their needs. Even though the Buddha may be speaking on impermanence, then sentient beings, in accordance with their predisposition and interest, then hear about selflessness, hear about suffering. So, this one speech that is understood in many different topics, in many different languages at one time, in accordance with whatever most benefits the sentient being. So, such as these sentient beings, where should they be benefited, at what place they should be benefited, at what time should those activities or benefited them take place. All of this takes place without any sort of exertion, without any effortlessly, spontaneously, all such activities take place.
Tilation Jituba Shaban, Yasha Chini, that Jimmy Shaba Shabatella, Dambata Shabani, G10 Dua, Sumche.
So then with regards to the explanation to Buddha's uninterrupted activities, then there is the teaching, the explanation, and the summary.
Oh, Davakan, which you can't do anything. Nijiti, Dumbatang, setting, but as a Dadimata, Chanju Chimbo, Tatigi, Nijiti, Dumbatang, Seti Bajeti, Sari. Zawani, Kaze, Duja Kanda, Kanduna, Kante, you done two teta, Statintani. Nijiti, Dumbatang, Teti, Yonjinda, Tejib Teji, Kielani, Nabatopa Meshiro, setting.
So, with the explanation on the with regards to the explanation on the spontaneous activities, that was the previous verse. The sage always acts completely without effort. Indeed, he does not give himself up to thoughts as to what may be the constitution of the convert, which of many means of conversion is to be used, where and when it is to be accomplished, the place and the time. So the next part is the explanation, the root verse in relation to the uninterrupted quality of Buddha's activities, and as concerns the factors of deliverance and their foundation, their result and favorable object, the obscurations and conditions for their removal.
Ani te jinji ki temba tang, ten di drebu tang, drebu di ongosu zimba tang, drebu di topi, ani topa cheba driba tang, te jie la, jien tuji tera, namba topa meba, ta tuji ma, bende ma jie la chaka te tuan ten che.
For this, then you have for the the definite revelation of the great enlightenment, then showing the basis, the result, and then to to be able to hold that complete result, then what are the obscurations to attaining it, and the conditions of the great compassion which cuts through those obscurations. So this is like in brief. With regards to the definite revelation of the great enlightenment, you have this root verse 6. The factors of deliverance are the 10 stages, and the 2 accumulations are their cause. The result, it is supreme enlightenment, and the living beings fit for the attainment of it represents the favorable sphere. So the definite revelation of the great enlightenment are these 10 bodhisattva levels or 10 bhumis. And the two accumulations of the 2 types of merits, merit of virtue and merit of wisdom, are what generates these 10 bhumis, what allows us to abide in those 10 bhumis, sustain those 10 bhumis, and to continuously develop along these 10 bhumis. So what causes all this are the 2 types of accumulations. As we need to sort of gradually progress along those 10 bhumis, then what allows for that are these 2 accumulations, this gradual progression on the 10 bhumis.
아니 손이 대이 대부 chanchu 초인데서 가르래서나 다 사소소기 내가도 냥차기 내가서 이식 소소 드네 제도도 산데 그 소는 그 초제데 손이 손도 제데 아니 사소소 반자래 반디가라 아니 사코마 코마 톱스도 조그와 인장 아니 타를 아니 가소래 반자 탄제밤이 대부 chanchu기 토고 토와 인장 손이 대대부 chanchu 초이데 chanchu 심비줄라 중롱도 용서 좀 봐고 산 대대 chanchu 초인데 chanchu 심전 용서 진
So its result, meaning the result of these 2 accumulations, is the supreme enlightenment. Through equipoise, one is able to accumulate the merit of wisdom, and through through the phases of the post equipoise, then one has the opportunity to accumulate the merit of virtue. So in this way, then in graduated stages, then one is able to abandon all the objects of abandonment of the various levels of these grounds, and thereby enhance oneself, gradually progress along these bodhisattva levels, and eventually, when one completely abandons all of these objects of abandonments of the path, then one attains the result of a supreme enlightenment, and the living beings fit for the attainment of it represents the favorite path, such as the bodhisattvas who attain this. Verse number 7, the obscurations are the innumerable forms of defilement and the secondary defiling forces and their residues, And the factor which always suppresses them is the great commiseration of the Buddha. So these obscurations, these innumerable form of defilements and the secondary defilements, they are all subsumed within the obscuration to enlightenment, obscuring the attainment of the enlightenment. So the great compassion of the Buddhas is the condition that will always destroy these obscuring factors, obscuring defilements. So it is the great compassion of the Buddhas that engages them in the activity of the caring speech by which they turn the wheel of Dharma, showing the path of practice. And by engaging in those practices, then one has the opportunity to accumulate the two types of merit, the merit of wisdom and the merit of virtue, by which then one is able to purify the two types of obscurations. And by doing so, then one is able to gradually progress along those 10 levels or 10 grounds, and eventually attain the state of that supreme enlightenment. And this is what is meant by the uninterrupted activities of the Buddha.
Oh yeah,
So now in the presentation of the 6 examples. So verse 8, these 6 points taken respectively are known to have a resemblance with the ocean, with the sun, with space, with the treasure, with clouds, and with the wind. The next stanza is corresponding meaning. Being endowed with the waters of wisdom and with the jewels of virtuous properties. The stages of perfection resemble the by administering help to all living beings, the two accumulations are akin to the sun.
tenru bechu sitade bechu re beden tu kamari mare ani beden chidi shaba waze bechu bedan de dingda de lesson家族当你们当是对他大了说家族当你们当你哪个的正当东西写完查的钱好的고름 진짜 다른 새 고름 진짜 달라 해야 되려 ten도 같아是吧 내나디 숨바 이식이 취재하러 지 내나디 이완이 출래 주면도 집에 내 주바신도 고름 신도 자사주 자소당 존인님마당 다 두스마 자지로 와 봐. 난가다 때다 진다 놓 시와 차오 공도 시와 나시 제다
So these 6 points taken respectively are known to have a resemblance with the ocean. So during the next verse, which is the corresponding meaning of those examples, those 6 points.
So
So the 10 bhumis, those 10 grounds, are like the ocean, because of the the transcendental wisdom of those 10 bhumis. Then this is what allows for the enhancement or the development of all of those qualities, those jewel-like qualities of those grounds. By administering help to all living beings, the 2 accumulations are akin to sun. So, by the activities that one engages in relation to the sentient beings, then you have the 2 types of the accumulations of the merit, and so in that way they are likened to the sun. So great and extensive, without middle or end, supreme enlightenment is like the element of space. So just like space that is without limit, there's no middle, no end to it. In the same manner, enlightenment, enlightenment is likened to that space, without kind of distinction of the limit or middle or end. Great enlightenment, the qualities of the great enlightenment is like space without distinctions of middle or end.
Being
the essence of the Supreme Buddha, the element. So, being the essence. So, being the essence of the Supreme Buddha, the element of the living beings resembles a treasure. So this refers to the basic element of the sentient beings. This natural purity, the suchness of the sentient beings is likened to the treasure, giving rise to all in the source of all the Buddha qualities.
양다 조상 춘이 7일 시도와 양다 조상 춘이 7일 세대 양다바 조위 상제지 춘이 랑신지 남바타바 연된 탐제 중은 등이 내미 7일 세대 양다 조상
Yes, so that it is the that the basic element of the sentiment means that this is the source of the essence of the Supreme Buddha, that state of the purity.
루부 탑다 마주치 대인념 정조신 대기 아니 섬에 대단 저한테 루부와 정말 루부와 류자라 차와당 류자 아니지 섬정의 규지 아니 섬지 춘이 탐자라 차와당 와 랑심도 마주치 쓰려가나 코랑그 랑심라 아니 정말 봐 마시바 인상 랑신도 정말 랑신이 마주치 아니 섬정의 규지 가소래 녀몬대다 정지 초단 자와
So instead of accidental, we say adventitious, pervasive, and essentially unreal. The defiling elements are like a multitude of clouds. So these adventitious defilements then pervades the suchness of all sentient beings. The Dhammadhatu or the suchness of sentient beings are pervaded by these adventitious defilements, essentially unreal, referring that these defilements do not, exist in the nature of the mind. In the nature of the mind, and as such, these defiling elements are like a multitude of clouds.
다 디제라 태도와니 년에지 투지 미세 논단자 세대기 다들 가르었으나 디바데 토르니 여르네 위치 아니 산제 그 투지 미세바 논단자와 아 투지라 때는 디바도 봐라 와弄了点呢，你看说了，正套完那行，出去了点呢，你只把套了些吧，弄能知吧
？So the great compassion of the Buddhas likened to this the great this inexhaustible great compassion of the Buddhas then likened to these winds that dispel or that disperse all of these obscurations and bring about the removal of these. The great commiseration is like a mighty wind.
Oh yeah, that is that. Baje kare uda jiruga chetla no. That jiten duwa di sa baje.
So the next stanza is the summary.
You want the temba da shebatang.
So the outline has the teaching, the explanation, and the general summary. So the 12th verse is the general summary.
That is the budget of your summer sandu. Oh yeah, budget. Tawadu change you one in your juntang. 다다 섬제 충시당 제가 용서 마주지 코바시도 주미세 세대다 지튼도 말이야.
So that's verse 12, performing acts of deliverance for the sake of others, perceiving the identity of himself and the living beings, and knowing no termination in his altruistic work, the Buddhas act uninterruptedly as long as the world exists.
사주다 초니지 뒤위 사람도 이게 초니지 뒤위 제생지 왕비 아니 내가 중화
so
내가 중화니 아니 현대도 내가 중바탕 시가라 내려서
내가 중바 so a definitive revelation for the benefit of others by the means or by the conditions under the power of the the 10 grounds and the two accumulations of merit. 당부들이 개인 가르치면 띵했을 직선송.
하세. 사주다 손이지 뒤와 계세지 왕경과 중원에 현대도 내와 진바당 스타스 사주당 손이요데 변이지관이 자소다 아니 이미 변이 그때 말했어.
So these 10 bhumis and the two accumulations of merit are illustrated by the ocean and the sunlight, which these are the conditions bringing forth the definite revelation for the benefit of others.
아니 가세 현동의 변이지매 티된 변이지 땜배
And this shows the uninterrupted activities benefiting sentient beings.
다다다 semjen 충발 네가 아니 라신 매바기 아니 친이 라신도 내와 라신 매비 친이 라신도 내와 스베 창주다 semjen 이워테 아니 나가다 베이베때 말이다.
So this next line, perceiving the identity of himself and living beings, seeing the seeing that Buddhahood and sentient beings abide in a non-inherent nature, not existing by way of its nature, and in abiding in this nature of not existing by way of its own nature, then sentient beings are similar to the great enlightenment. Similar in that respect, great enlightenment and sentient beings, similar in the identity or similar in abiding in not existing by way of its own nature, is illustrated by the space. And this shows the nature of this uninterrupted activity. This showing the nature of this uninterrupted activity of the Buddha. The previous, the ocean and the sunlight as the 10 bhumis and the two accumulations showed the causes of the uninterrupted activities. Now the space, as in abiding in that non-inherent nature of great enlightenment and sentient beings and great enlightenment, in abiding in that same identity of non-inherent nature, denoted by the space, also shows the nature of that uninterrupted activity. So, and then the obscuring afflictions and the condition of the great and the conditions of the great compassion, which kind of dispels or disperses those obscuring afflictions, are denoted by the clouds and the wind. So this denotes the result of those uninterrupted qualities.
Oh yeah.
When those activities are complete, when those activities, uninterrupted qualities are completed, then this is the result. So denoting the result of those uninterrupted activities. So this kind of presents what is the meaning of Buddha's activities that are spontaneous and uninterrupted. So the next part is illustrating how those activities engages sentient beings. How sentient beings become the recipient of such activities of the Buddhas, by example. So this has the link and the interpretation of the meaning. In So Rimchi is just going through the outlines, like in explaining the meaning. Then you have the brief explanation, the expanded explanations, the respective order of the illustrations or examples like that. Just the outline. So there is no termination in his altruistic work. The Buddha acts uninterruptedly as long as world exists. As long as samsara exists, then you say that the Buddha's activities are not complete, and so therefore those activities remain uninterruptedly until the end of worldly existence. So the brief explanation has, then expanded explanation and the respective order of the illustrations. And then the brief explanation begins with the root verse.
Ani de pegu de kana pegu kona damba jin shena jajin gi sudang ani hayin awo chedang jing ji be sumji korum shindu ani sanje ji gudang sundang tujung wo sum samba cheba.
So the illustrations, examples of the Deva god Indra, the celestial drum, the drum of the Deva realm, and the cloud, they denote the nature of the holy body of the Buddha, holy speech of the Buddha, holy speech Buddha, and the holy mind of the Buddha.
Oh, there's a Tambe Druwe, Tambe Druwe, Gudan Sungi, Chilani Chamba, Gui Chilada, Sungu Chilani Chamba.
And the Brahma denotes the activities of the holy body and the holy speech of the Buddha. And the sun denotes the activities of the holy mind.
Ane nanga ni pesum jirimba shindu da karere sana nubu rinje shinda ane tishin shawa danyan shindang nanga ni pesum jirimba shindu tendanbe duwe tuchi sangwa dang sungi sangwa dang ane gui sangwa
And the wish fulfilling gem, the echo and the space, they illustrate the secrecy, the ultimate secrecy of the holy mind, holy speech, and holy body. So, like Indra, like the celestial drum, like cloud, and like Brahma, like the sun, and like the wish-fulfilling jewel, like the echo, like space, and like the earth, such is the Buddha in his acts.
사신지 배단도 세대 탐전하게 사신호 세대
탐전하게 사신호스나 투지 첨부디
투지 첨부 대비 내주 탈치바스나 투지 첨부 공부 권에 공도 배제 탈산제 이사 도와와 대리가 대 사이 배기 담바레 사신지 배기 담바레.
And so the great compassion as it is developed, then eventually when that great compassion is associated with that great enlightenment, it is like the earth. So we'll stop here for this morning. Sangye Shinto Mete Bulwarji Kukanamda Shinla Chivarash Guru Ratna Mandala Kanyataya